opinions change? Tonight I want to ask you a question. Perhaps you've been asked this before, maybe by a teacher, a parent, or even just out of the blue. What did you want to be when you were a little kid? Some people wanted to be police officers. Some, professional car racers or ballerinas. I wanted to be an astronaut. A weird one with the helmet and the boots and the zero gravity. But then when I was 10, someone asked me a slightly different question. What do you want to be when you grow up? And suddenly I realized I couldn't really be a unicorn horseback rider or an astronaut that easily. Real life was different. It had limits and it had rules. And just like that, without me even noticing, my opinion of what my future should be changed. We often think of opinions as identity markers. Like, I believe this, therefore I am this. But in reality, they're like gloves. We try them on, we evolve, and sometimes we outgrow them. Psychologists have studied how and why opinions change, and a 2010 study out of Cornell University pointing to several core reasons. Number one is new evidence. Sometimes all it takes is one fact, one undeniable piece of truth, to shake the ground of opinion or belief. For example, imagine someone who's been convinced the vaccines are dangerous. Then one day their child gets sick with a preventable disease. They start seeing real studies and talking to actual doctors, not just listening to family opinions. New information alone doesn't always convince us, but when it's clear, consistent, connected to our lives, it can be a turning point. Number two is empathy. Now we're going to talk about something even more powerful than evidence, feeling. I once heard someone say, it's easy to hate from a distance. And it's true, it's easy to judge an issue until you meet the person behind it. Empathy alone doesn't always change our mind immediately, but it opens a door. It says, this person is more than my opinion of them. And that's where real change begins. Number three, social context. Because we like to think that we make decisions independently. But the truth is, our brains are wired to want to belong. Our environments don't dictate what we believe, but they definitely shape what we feel safe believing. For example, have you ever felt the need to change a certain thing about yourself or the way you act just because the majority did the same? I asked 25 teenagers if they ever had, and the results were surprising. Over 82% of them showed that they had changed themselves or an attitude or a belief just because of common standards. But here's the hard part. Changing an opinion can feel like betrayal. To our past self, to our group, to our image. We might fear looking inconsistent, or worse, weak. But I'd argue that the real weakness is refusing to grow. So the next time someone changes their mind, or you do, don't mock it. Celebrate it, because it means we're still open, still learning, still human, and still alive. Thank you very much.